Citizens, and welcome back to the verse. This is about the final phase of the Overdrive initiative. The fact that I was able to finally get it done is amazing. If you haven't managed to get it to work yet, hopefully this will help. I'm going to try to keep this video relatively short so I can get that out there, so if anyone wants to take a look at what to do. I do have a previous video. I'll link that description below that goes through the other phases and how you can get through those to get this done. Now, CIG was quite aware that there were some issues with this, that they did say that they're going to kind of extend the time frame for people having issues, and hopefully there's a hot fix to get this working. I'm going to talk about some of the ways it'll fail, some of the ways you can tell if it failed, so you can save yourself a little bit of time and effort when you're trying to do this. But overall, I finally got it done. I'm very happy with that, and so we're going to get this video out, and at the same time we're getting kind of excited because the 3.23 patch is on its way. They did get rid of the cargo elevators that were coming in and some of the aspects with like the hangars, but there's still lots coming. Lots I'm very excited about, including the fact that they're starting to implement the Vulkan renderer, which means maybe one step closer to eventually getting VR in the game, which I would just love. But that would change everything, including in how you control your character and operate things. So we'll have to see about that, but it's something that one day I look really forward to. Even though I can no longer walk out onto the platforms of Orson and look up at Crusade overhead in VR, there's still many things that I'm excited about in the future of that. But we're going to talk about the Overdrive points of failure. There's a few. I've experienced many trying to get this done. I probably tried about a dozen times trying to get this event to work, and different ways it failed every time. One of the main ones that you can't really do much about was other players. There was lots of attacks at the site. Either these are players that were there waiting for people to try to do the Overdrive initiative and attacking them, or I actually had a couple times where people looking to party up and do the mission together, and as soon as they got the mission, they would try to sabotage the mission, whether that means taking the boxes and storing their ship, which happened, and then logging off. That happened a couple times. Or just waiting until you're in jump and then attacking your ship and throwing them out of the ship in various locations around the verse. I did have that happen. It was kind of annoying, but, you know, it's just people being at least on the side of Xenothreat. I mean, if they're doing it to bother people and to try to ruin it for other people, I'm not into that, but I think a really good workaround is CIG needs to kind of make this mission like they did with Jump Town, where you can have Jump Town where you're playing as a criminal or you're playing as one of the good guys doing something from one way or another. It would really be good if there was like a Xenothreat side of the mission and the personal missions that you could do, because I'm all for people playing from both sides, but just make it more reasonable for someone to choose one side and do it one way or the other. Issue number two was a massive issue with almost every other event that I was trying with this, which was issues with the boxes. Either the boxes disappeared, so you get the job, and as you approach it says pick up these 3 boxes, and all of a sudden one blips out and you're only picking up 2 boxes, and the other one is kind of grayed out. Or the boxes, it still tells you to pick them up, but they've obviously glitched down into the geometry of the Earth or inside the ship in a way that makes them inaccessible. And if that happens, there's really no fix that I can think of. I did manage on one of them where the box grayed out no longer existed. I managed to find the box, so we thought, let's try to deliver it and see if we can actually deliver the box regardless. We got to the kiosk, we were able to open up the kiosk and put the box in, but it did not accept it as a valid delivery. So the fix for this is just to abandon the mission and try again. Unfortunately, that's what you're going to have to do, but at least now, as soon as you approach, if one of your boxes you're trying to pick up disappears, just abandon the mission, try again. That means that one's failed. It's not going to work. And then the third one, unfortunately, is broken terminals at the Pyro Station. So what this means is you got all the boxes, you picked them up, you brought them all the way to the terminals, and you're trying to deliver them, and the terminal's glitched out. It's not working. It's broken. Every time you try to get it to deliver, it just won't allow you to try to put a box in. Unfortunately, the fix for this is not only to quit the mission, but to leave that server and go to another server. And the reason why this is a bad one is because you don't know that this is not going to work until you get all those boxes and get them all the way to Pyro. It's really disheartening to get them all the way there just to realize that you failed the mission because you're unable to deliver these boxes. So those are the three main issues I found, and really, with the exception of the broken terminals, you can usually tell right away whether it's going to affect you or not. I did manage to finally successfully complete this mission, and I could have done it on my own. This is a mission that you can solo on your own. However, I shared the mission with other people and were able to get other people to be able to complete this mission also. So if you're willing to risk it, you're willing to risk someone joining you that you don't know, you can help them out and get them done, do this mission. Or if someone else is completing this mission, if you can join up with them, you can get a completion for this also. How I did this is that I took the mission. The only one that I completed successfully is one that I took. That doesn't necessarily mean that was the deciding factor, but it was really good that I was able to take this mission and can bring it to completion. We set some rules. The people I joined up with, we had some basic rules. The first rule, and this is no guarantee that this is required, but only I touched or moved the boxes. So since I was the one that accepted the mission, I picked up all 3 boxes, I placed them all into the ship, I took them out of the ship, and I put them into the kiosks. I am the only one that moved these boxes at any point. And I don't know if that guaranteed the success, but it's definitely something worth thinking about, where you have one person, the person who accepted the mission is the designated person to handle the boxes. Number 2 is we put all the boxes onto one ship. So they weren't all put into different ships and taken over there. They all went onto my ship, brought them over. Number 3 is that I did not store my ship at Pyro Station. And you shouldn't do that anyways, because you're going to have to take all the boxes off. And if you had a group of people and everyone could pick up a box, it wouldn't really be an issue. But because I'm doing it one at a time, I was kind of on a time crunch where I parked my ship in the hangar, and then I picked up a box, delivered it, came back for another box, back and forth, and I was hoping that I was not going to get my ship stored by having a timeout. So move quick and do that. And number 4, I actually just made sure that someone else had finished that event on that server beforehand, and that gave me more hope that the kiosks were working. So I was able to kind of confirm before I started that it was even worth trying, because there are other times where people tell you the kiosks are broken on the server. Don't even try. Check beforehand before you even accept the mission to see. So once I had this mission, I shared it with a few other players, and they all agreed to follow these rules, and they were welcome to join. And they helped out first with the fighting with the ships that are in the location. So when you arrive at your location, there's going to be a few ships in the air that you have to take out. Once that's done, I've noticed really 2 types of missions. One where there's bits of ships all over and the boxes are in those ships, and 2 where they're stored in a star fare. I almost said Star Runner, definitely a Star Fare. If you don't know anything about Star Fare, it's a great ship for Xeno threat because it's a big maze that there's always something hiding around the corner. So what a good ship to use for this, because all the boxes are hidden. It gives you a really hard time trying to find them out, which actually kind of makes it kind of exciting. Now, the one that I did successfully was even harder because this ship was actually on its back. So it was an upside down Starfare, which I hadn't really dealt with before, and that made it a lot more interesting to find my way around. So it was a Starfare that was upside down with the boxes in it. I was searching around. Now, you do have other people there. They can come through with you, make sure there's no NPCs that they have to take out there, but they can also help searching. And if they find the box, because you do have markers on them, but it's only showing you a distance, but it might be behind a wall, they were able to kind of go around and find boxes and maybe lead me towards them if I couldn't find them. There was one that I had trouble finding. I think it was the munitions one, but you have 3 different boxes. I have an image up here of the 3 different types. This is what they look like, and so you're trying to find these 3 boxes, picking them up, and you're going to put them into your ship and bring them. I flew to Pyro again, and following this rule, only I moved the boxes when we got to Pyro. So I landed my ship and quickly started taking them off the ship one at a time and bringing them to the location. I almost failed this because very excitedly we all wanted to go with me to bring the boxes, and running into the elevators I kind of got bumped and into the wall, and somehow that phased me through the wall of the elevator while it was moving, and next thing you know I am outside the station floating in space. And there was a bit of a panic first, because normally when you kind of phase through a wall you get stuck inside the station walls of the ship and you can't get out of the station. You can't get out, and I was really worried that was the case. And if that was the case, it would be pretty much game over because there'd be no way to recover the box that I was holding. Luckily, I'm out in space, and somebody else came out in their Corsair and picked me up real quick. And it was just a bit of a panic because as this is happening, more and more time is passing, and hopefully my ship is not going to get stored. But that happened. Got back into the hangar and quickly into the elevator, and we made a rule that only one person in the elevator at a time while I was carrying a box, and we were able to get that. So I was able to get the boxes and not offload the boxes. Now, like I said, there's three things. There's three different boxes that you're bringing. One of them goes to the cargo, and two go to the admin. I'll put up on screen which box goes where, and you just have to bring them to the right location. When you get there, you're looking for the yellow Kovalex mission vending machines, whatever they're called, and you just click drop, you place it in, and you're hoping every time that it's going to say that that is 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3. The third one, once that's delivered, you are home free. You have managed to finish this event and get that last mission. Only thing I'd say after that, take a screenshot of the mission completing, take a screenshot of the mission on your mobi-glass, of everything to be able to prove that you've finished just in case there is some issue. Or even better, like I did, have some videos showing every step along the way that you're able to complete. And that's it. Hopefully soon 3.23 is out. Now this might actually be out by the time that this video is out, and I am so excited. I'm excited specifically about the character creator. I'm really going to spend some time making a good character there, and just checking out some of the new stuff. I definitely want to check out some of the distribution centers. I'm excited about so much that's going to be here, and more and more is coming along in the 3.23 point whatever patches. I really am excited about that item bank, and I'm excited about the cargo elevators, and I have a lot of plans coming up for when those are around. So if you would like to try this out and you haven't gotten a game package yet, don't forget that if you're using a referral code right now, I do have one up on the screen. I also have a link in the description below. Get yourself a game package. Not only will you get into the game, get to try the game just as this new version is coming out, but you also get yourself a referral bonus starting on the 2nd, I believe it is. As long as you've used the referral code and got yourself a game before then, you're going to get in your account a free Merlin, which is like a little snub fighter, which also be used for racing. I'm going to take one around the Louisville racetrack and kind of try that one out a bit there for a while. I really want to try out racing before Master Modes and then compare it after Master Modes and see what it's like. So until then, thank you so much for watching. This is a quick one, and I kind of talked over myself, but I think we're going to have a fun time in this upcoming patch. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Goodbye, and I hope to see you all soon in the verse.